Welcome back to Pro. If you like what you see, please consider liking the video, sharing it, or becoming a subscriber. All that helps, and I would appreciate it. Try and get to 100 subscribes. All right, so let's get into it. You read the title correctly. I do not want iMessage on my Android phone, and there are a couple reasons for that. One, I already have iMessage. I primarily use my Pixel 8 Pro, as you've seen on the channel, about my unboxing. That's my daily driver. However, a few years ago, I bought an iPhone mainly for, as a camera. So I have the real thing right here. Okay. And not just that, but I already did have iMessage on my phone, on my Android, that is. There was a couple services around. The one I used was Blue Bubbles. So it's like the other things where you're using the Mac Mini. The difference between that and Blue Bubbles, I guess, is you have to supply the Mac Mini. So I bought one and it worked. I had iMessage. It was a cumbersome process, not gonna lie. But when I got it working, and I was kind of all excited about it, and I have like a one kind of subgroup of friends that are on that have the iOS, the Apple ecosystem, and other side of my family that are pretty much all around on Android. So I was just using it for this group of friends, and when it worked, it was good, it was cool, and I most like brag about, hey, I got iMessage on my Android. It was fun for a few months. Upkeep had to be happening because you have to keep updating it and all that. Eventually, it stopped working, and I know I could probably get it back working when I went to, because I have a M1. When I went to the M1, then it kind of get disconnected. Use the web version, it works, but after a while, it's like, just kind of lost its notoriety. And honestly, all my Apple friends, they're not really jerks, so we all just communicate on Messenger now. So solve that. So that's another reason why I'm really not concerned about having I mentioned them Android. Uh, Side note, paying for it, I'm like, it's kind of ridiculous. And what I think Beeper Mini. So part of this is, if you're not familiar with Beeper, they kind of combine a whole lot of messenger apps, and Beeper Mini was just pretty much exclusive for iMessage. And I believe with the update, uh, their service, they was able to spoof iMessage or iCloud, something like that, to where your Android phone would appear to be an iPhone to an iOS user, and that's how Beeper was working. And I remember when I heard that, I downloaded it that day, but decided I'll set it up later. I should have did it then and there because apparently it worked. When it worked cool, it worked. But Apple shut that down real quick. Uh, so I'll just get this out of the way. Did Apple have a right to do what they did? Yes. I don't think it was smart from to publicize it though, because now they are appearing to be the bad guy, and now they have been. I saw some headline that some international thing is coming after them for, I don't know. It's big company problems. Did Apple have the right to do what they did? Yeah, it's their messaging platform. I think the reason they gave it, that they were protecting their users, was just total nonsense. But they're gonna have to face those consequences. Even I don't think they're gonna lose the case, but I do think that it's gonna bring bad press. I'm comparing it to when Google went on a campaign to get rid of these ad blockers that people were doing, and I think it's their platform, so of course they have the right. And I'm a YouTube Premium member, so I do support them. But I think they mistakenly advertised that they were doing it, because then, from what I'm understanding, people who didn't know anything about ad blockers, yes, there are quite a few. I don't think most people know about ad blockers. When Google advertised it, that let them know there were ad blockers. Then they went and downloaded it, and that made the problem worse. I think if Apple didn't make a big deal over it, then I don't know, maybe the problem wouldn't go away. I get maybe The issue they took was that they were actually making money versus the services that I was using was free. You could donate, but it wasn't like a service that is now, and you know, it is what it is. Uh, but all that to say is, I've had I'm one of the few that did have an iMessage on my Android phone, and while it was cool, it's not really what I want anymore. So if it was advertised, I probably wouldn't be paying for it. I don't know, and why I'm gonna talk about it for the channel, because I thought about making a video and I was gonna download that app to my Chromebook, and I message on your Chromebook, that was gonna be the headline. Uh, what I want, and I think what a lot of us on the Android side of things, it's not necessary to have iMessage because again like I showed you, I do have it. I do. This is like a backup phone, so I do, and sometimes do put my SIM in this, and I have the full iMessage experience. So I'm not saying this out of complete ignorance. It is a cool messenger app, but I don't think the time where this is leaps and bounds over every messenger app is long past. Like it is. When it came out, it was like it's kind of like Google Pixel camera. I like the Pixel. I think the camera is one of the best. But when it first came, what was it, Pixel 3A or 3A around there? When their camera just took a giant leap over everybody, that was a good lead. But I think the competition kind of caught up a bit. And now it's kind of a matter of perspective. Even though I think the Google Pixel camera is still the best, it's not as huge of a leap as it once was. And I'm comparing that the same way with Apple's iCloud or iMessage. It's ahead, but it's not leaps and bounds like it once was. So what I mainly want is hopefully what RCS is going to do with Apple Messages next year, and that's just to communicate better. I give you an example. So past Christmas, me and one of my closest friends, we did this movie together, and kind of low budget, really low budget. Nobody got paid. Um, but like I said, he's on Mac. He's on iMessage, and he uses a Mac computer. I have the Android side of things, and I'm on a Chromebook. And when we're sending each other like scripts and photos, we need good communication. One, and I can't send like a he would send me something to design, and I couldn't send it back doing regular messaging because I knew that what he was gonna get on his end was gonna be garbage. Uh, so we had to find apps that we both could use. So what I wanted was not so much as iMessage on my Android, but just a better communication. Like I used to hire people from around the country to help me to write articles for me. And again, I'm on Chromebook. If they were on Windows and they send me a Microsoft document, I could translate to something that I can see, and we can go back and forth. Even though I primarily use Google Docs, I can send it back and forth, and we could be fine. I had one person send me something in Pages, which is like the Apple equivalent of Word. Sent that to me, and I couldn't understand. I thought it was like garbage. I thought something was wrong with him. Like, why did you format it this way? It's illegible. And then it hit me that he sent this from a Mac, and I can't read their little system. And I have like iPad, and I know how good Pages is, but it's not like so much better. The only reason why anybody wants these things is because it's exclusive. So if I can send a message, like talk about message back to message apps, if I can send messages, video, emojis, however I want to communicate, and we can basically see each other, see what the other one send in the intended format, I'm good. I do think they're probably gonna keep the bubbles green on us, which I think is just trash anyway. But regardless, if we can see each other fine, communicate fine, then that's good. I mean, again, I told you, we all went to Messenger to communicate better, and it's not really. You could compare Messenger to iMessage, but I think it's about as good. Controversial to say, maybe iMessage may have a few things that Messenger doesn't, but we went there not because it had more features, but because it was a better place to communicate. So that's really all I'm looking for. And I think a lot of us Android users are looking for is just a better way of communication. Hopefully this RCS thing would take care of that. Although Apple being Apple, you know, they'll do something. Anyway, that's going to be where I'm going to end the video. If you like this video, please, like I said before, consider subscribing. This is Pro, and I'll see you next time.